And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2017 YugiTuber Grand Championship. In this match, we have RescueCatDuelist playing her lovely Sylvans with a little bit of spice in there as well, going up against TeamInnovationYGO and Monarchs. And with us for this electrifying commentary, we have none other than Nim.
Electrifying's a really nice adjective to use there, Cimo. Thank you.
There's no exaggeration on my channel whatsoever. Ever.
I just want to preface this match. I didn't mention this in the last game with Monarchs, which I was surprised to see. But fuck Durandal. I hope we don't see that card come out because that card's so ignorant. I don't know exactly how it shapes up against the Sylvan matchup, but it's just a dumb card in general.
That's just your favorite card of all time.
Oh, I've had many stories of sadness that have involved a rank 5 fairy sword monster, dude.
Sword monster? Is that a new type you just invented?
Well, it's definitely a big sword, so I don't know how else you want me to describe it.
Oh my god. And before we get into this, as they're picking who's going first or second, big shout outs as always to MSTTV for the awesome intro and logo. Be sure to check him out in the description and give him a sub.
So I haven't seen Sylvans in a very long time. It's a really interesting choice, but I mean, something to expect from RescueCatDuelist. I know she loves that deck dearly, so I'm actually really excited to see how this shapes up and see what how she's adjusted her deck. I know we haven't gotten Princess Sprite, but it is announced for Maximum Crisis, which is really interesting. But it not being playable, of course, is a little weird.
Starting off with Lone Flower Blossom seems pretty good to me. I don't know about you.
It's like a really strong opening.
Yeah, I remember when it was a few years ago that Sylvans were actually like the best deck of the format. And the deck just can do so many cool things. I mean, obviously it just got power creeped out like when the artifacts came out in Primal Origin, but I mean, the deck is just so cool in the things that it can do.
Yeah, remember when people thought Sylvan Charity was like the most disgustingly broken card in the game? But like now it's like it's a really good card still, but like nobody like bats an eye at it now.
I know. I mean, okay, if you were to compare Sylvan Charity, if I were to tell you that Card of Demise were going to be released back in 2014, I think you would
I might implode, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see why didn't RescueCat go for all 3 Lone Fire out the deck? Why is she keeping one in there?
I don't know.
Maybe she has one in her hand. I don't know. Opening 2 of them, that's really actually interesting too, though.
I was gonna say maybe
not as bad though. Like
she is the queen of Sylvans, so I'm not going to question her methods. So Sylvan Charity draws 3, and she has to stack a Sylvan monster as well as another card back on top of the deck. So she's selecting Dandelion, which is fine because obviously Hermitry is gonna trigger here.
So the long-lasting kind of battle with Hermitry where you're kind of not getting any advantage if you activate Sylvan Charity. Maybe you get like the pluses from the cards at least, but you're not drawing anything new when you stack them.
Yeah.
So getting that other Hermitry in the graveyard is actually going to be pretty helpful though.
Absolutely, yeah, because now she can trigger the Hermitry, she can excavate the top card, send it to the graveyard, and draw a card if it's a plant. So that's going to be pretty effective here. And
it looks like she opted to put the Hermitry on top and redraw into the Dandelion.
Sorry. I didn't see which order she did it. Yeah, so she's going to mill the Hermitry, which will trigger the Hermitry, and then she's going to add Dandelion to hand. And Hermitry,
and now she gets to stack top 3.
Exactly. She gets to rearrange. God, this deck is so high maintenance, though. Like, there's so much stacking and, like, placing cards on top. Oh, she has the Sage Koya, though. That's a good combo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Essentially, Sage Koya, I believe you can remind me, is if you trigger a Sylvan effect off of Excavation, you get to special Sage Koya?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
And its standard effect is you just get to excavate a card from the top of your deck. And if it's a plant, send it to graveyard.
Which is pretty okay.
Yeah, and if it's sent to graveyard, you get to add a Sylvan spell trap from your graveyard to your hand, I believe. So getting that Charity back won't be too bad if she hits it.
Are you just going through a nostalgia trip right now?
I am. I loved this deck. I played this deck back, I think, when it was like Lone Fire was still at 1, but Soul Charge was at 3. And I was like, hey, that's pretty good.
This Soul Charge in this deck was just disgusting.
Oh, yeah. It was not fair.
It was just Felgrands, and if you got, like, Aurea out, oh my god, it was just over.
Aurea, remember when people thought that card was good? Didn't it target to bounce, or did it not target to bounce?
No, it didn't. That's what made it so good.
Damn.
When you're gonna like Aurea for like fucking 8 or something.
I remember that.
Innovation with the Kaiju Slumber though, so these trees are gonna be uprooted very quickly here.
Oh god, please don't make those puns anymore. I don't think I can stay for this commentary if you do it. Oh no. Thinking about it now, though, like the potent boards that Rescue Cat could make, though, back in Sylvan's days, like what Felgrand plus Aurea, what's another summon? Like Draco Sack, that used to be the board. Like now Kaijus are a thing.
I know.
And you just kind of go,
you just Kaiju over Draco Sack, Kaiju over Felgrand. Like, it's so funny how the game just evolved. Back then, too, I'm pretty sure Regeki wasn't legal yet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I think Dark Hole was still at 1 even,
right,
too.
So, like, the board wipes were very few and far between. I could be wrong, but I think it was around that. I think it might have been, like, the next ban list that we got Regeki back. So now we see...
the mighty have fallen.
So now we see Edia coming down, which will allow him to grab Eidos from the deck and give him a second normal summon, assuming RescueCatDuelist doesn't have anything in response here.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to assume, though, that Rescue Cat might not have anything in the back row, as most Sylvan decks back in the day, and now they like focused on more of an aggressive strategy. And of course, like we discussed, like those minions, those monsters they would bring out on the board, like Felgrand and Draco Sack, were just really powerful and hard to get around. So make a lot of work for your opponent. But there wasn't much room for trap cards. But
yeah,
I'm curious. Of course, I don't know her list, but
yeah, you were facing a meta of like Satellar Knights, and there was Burning Abyss. Like, Duelist Alliance had, like, just come out. And Primal Origin. Like, that was when Sylvan started dying off, because Hat was just too good. Wow! Majesty's Fiend getting dropped. Talk about getting power crept. Majesty's Fiend just wrecks this deck.
Jeez.
I mean, I don't know, though. I don't think anyone will argue with you that a recurring graceful charity every turn that isn't even graceful charity is a pretty good mechanic to have in your archetype.
Yep.
She can just dig for so many options. I'm really curious to see what else she has.
I don't even know if it's worth like keep playing at this point though, because like you're staring at a Majesty's Fiend and a 3300. None of your monsters on their own can get around that 3300. So,
and we know one of the cards in her hand is the Dandelion because she drew it off of the Hermitry. Yes. So, you know, you already know that one of the cards is that. So the other two plus a draw for her turn. That it's not looking too good for Rescue Cat here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Monarchs, man. Majesty's Fiend's a card. Especially when it's in the main deck. God.
Look, as long as we don't see Durandal, I'm okay with that. Like...
You can see all the other dirty things this deck is able to do except Durandal.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm okay. I'm okay with a couple Majesty's Fiends and a couple Vanity's Fiend misplays, but when it comes to Durandal, I just can't look at that thing.
I still have that token, by the way.
Me too.
So, I mean, she really needs a board wipe here. That's the only thing I can even think of.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, Raigeki would be insane. Dark Hole would be insane. But outside of that...
Miracle Fertilizer is an option.
Yeah, I guess I could get her around the Majesty's Fiend.
Yeah, because at least anything, as long as she clears the Majesty's Fiend, at least she has effects turned on again. So she could Miracle Fertilizer the Hermitry attack over and then maybe kill off the Jizukiru afterwards.
I think it's pretty safe to assume that might be the Dandelion set there, as that might be the best card to get in the graveyard. But it's not going to get its effect triggered when it gets sent to the graveyard there.
So man, it could be that Koma Shroomo.
Oh, snap. Still not going to get its effect, but whatever.
At least it's got that 2,000 defense that might put up a fight. Oh, man, this is just not looking good. Innovation searching the Stormforth, and he has the Aether in hand already, so he can just tribute off the Eidos.
Tribute his own dude, and that thing. Yeah, there's Dandelion, like I said. See, I know how to make these reads, Alex.
You make these reads. Yeah, you already knew she had the card, Gage.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's more than enough damage on board right now. That's 7,500, I believe.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, Rescue Cat's scooping that up. We obviously can't see the sideboards here, but I don't know. I feel like if you're Rescue Cat, I don't know what like the rest of her list looks like. I mean, I know she's playing some spicy stuff because she told me that, but I mean, you're good if you have like the Kaijus, which I feel like in this tournament the Kaijus are so strong because they just pretty much out any problem board.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. Like, okay, Kaijus are really, really good, and like it obviously just curb stomps like Felgrand and everything. And I was thinking like, okay, well, Felgrand on its own, if like you don't have the Kaijus against them, it's okay against this matchup because like can't you like if they activate Stormforth, can't you like activate Felgrand and target itself so they can't like sack off the Felgrand?
I actually don't think that works. I'm not 100% sure.
Sad. I gotta actually look this up here. Let me see if I can pull up other siding.
I think Stormforth targets the player and not the monster.
Oh, I remember.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I played Monarchs. I don't remember that ruling. It came up a few times.
Let's see here. Stormforth targeting.
If you look up Stormforth versus Felgrand, it'll definitely come up.
Oh, well, it says this card does not target, so I mean...
there you go.
But wait, well, now I gotta read Felgrand, because isn't just Felgrand not affected by stuff?
It's unaffected by other card effects, yeah.
Oh, well, okay, well, I don't know. I'm not a judge.
It's hard to say, though, because, like, it's not actually doing an effect. I don't know. Someone in the comments, I'm sure, will do that. But now that I think about it,
maybe we'll see it.
The only deck that Kaijus don't do anything against is Nurse Burns, so, I mean, when you think about it that way...
Yeah, Nurse Bird's a pretty good deck for this format. I heard it was okay. Decent choice.
I'm sorry, I had to.
I don't want to talk about it.
The best comment. Okay, so going into game 2, obviously Rescue Cat's going to want to go first, because letting Monarchs go first is just a death sentence.
I'm hoping to see a nice board come out of the Sylvans here, bring me back to the old days, and hopefully, no Kaijus on Team Innovation's part.
Yeah, no. This deck is capable of making some insane boards, and if Rescue Cat can just get the right. Well, that's definitely not the way to start.
That's insane. That's the best board I've seen all day.
That is the most intimidating board. I mean, if I were Team Innovation, I would just scoop right now.
All right, now I'm gonna give you one of those famous reads again. I'm gonna tell you that face down.
Okay.
Is a Dandelion.
It's a Dandelion. Okay, we'll see if you're correct. Gofu coming down for Team Innovations, special summoning the 2 tokens. If he has Kurez, oh my god. Return.
Oh wow, come to think of it.
Majesty Speed again!
Again! No!
What were you going to say?
Gofu wasn't legal back in Monarch format too. I'm just seeing all these decks come up with new techs, and it's so interesting. Like, I don't know. Like, wait, okay, were Kaijus out when Monarchs were out, or I don't think they were wildly played though, were they?
Yes, Kaijus were out. People were playing them. I don't think Slumber was as popular yet, but people were definitely playing like Gamma Seals. But no, Gofu, yeah, until Gofu came out, which was a little bit after Monarch format, I believe. I think it was actually the set after Monarch format.
Yeah, didn't Metal Foe just become like the best deck by then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so much for that famous read there, Gage. But and the domain. That's good.
Wow. I think okay, rescue. I'm sorry. Looks like Rescue Cat needs rescuing, man.
Yeah, I know. There's definitely
my turn to make puns now.
Okay, that's all right because she definitely needs it at this point. Okay. But yeah, as I was gonna say, Gofu is definitely amazing indirect support for Monarchs. It has synergy with Allure. It gives you tribute fodder. It's a +1 with Karaz, which is like amazing. It's so good. Mount Sylvania coming down now.
Oh, man, I don't even remember what this card does. Like,
I remember don't you get to pick a card and place it either on the top or the bottom of the deck?
Or something. Yeah, you get to stack a Sylvan card, but
or she gets to stack a Sylvan card.
No, she gets to stack it, but of course, Dueling Book doesn't have quite the luxury of having that mechanic.
That automatic mechanic. Hey, at least we can banish 10 with Pot of Desires. That's good.
Hey, that's convenient.
Wow, did she just pass?
I mean, hey, probably that's all she could do. Like, maybe God. Okay. Against a deck like Monarchs, maybe it's safe to assume that you can't get gamed next turn, especially with Majesty's Fiend on the boards.
That's the thing. Majesty's Fiend's actually preventing Team Innovation right now from OTKing her because you can't use Aether's effect to get out another monster. So
yeah, so he's just going to be sitting there. Majesty's Fiend is putting in work, but maybe that charity will be able to get Rescue Cat into like a Raigeki or something she desperately needs.
Yeah, no, she really needs it. I'm assuming her hand has to be all big trees because she already pitched a Hermitry. So if she's not doing anything else, it has to be that bad.
I can't even think what it would be though if her first turn play was just set Cherub Sprout pass.
I know. That's just demoralizing at that point.
Bad.
Especially in a format where going first is just so critical. All right, so she's drawing her 3. So now she has to reveal at least 1 Sylvan to put back on top.
Otherwise, what happens? Your whole hand goes back to the deck, right?
I
Guardio.
think so.
I think that's how it works. If you don't have a Sylvan, it all goes back.
Yeah, it's like it has some Allure-like effect where your whole hand just gets wrecked. Yeah, so Guardioke. I think didn't Sylvan players play like 1 Guardioke?
I'd never played a Guardioke. It was just Hermitry and the Sage dude for the 8s and 7s.
Supervise.
There's
some of the spice.
A Gigaplant.
So we're playing Gigaplant Sylvan.
Did she get into a Gigaplant? Well, it doesn't matter, actually, come to think of it, because Majesty's Fiend is a card. Whoa, there it is!
The Sylvan charity paid off. Oh man, well, I was waiting for like innovation to flip that back row to be like some way to protect the Majesty's Fiend.
Do we know what that back row is? But like, did he? I don't think he searched for like a Stormforth or
No,
anything.
he hasn't searched anything.
Did he add anything with return?
He added he might have added Erebus. I think he banished it for the Allure.
Erebus, okay.
So
that would make sense. Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah. So I mean, Monarchs aren't really notorious for playing back like a whole lot of back row. I mean, you pretty much played like Prime, maybe an Escalation.
I think Pantheism going to 1 really hurt like this deck, like because now it's like not easy to make reads as like what your opponent got or anything like Stormforth or anything. Like normally you would just play around Stormforth, but now you can actually just not play around it, and sometimes it's okay because they most of the time might not have it.
Yeah, as much as people hated Pantheism. Oh, the Twin Twister. Ooh. Well, there's our answer.
Got to stop that Mount Sylvania. Does it pitch as a cost though? That's a thing. It might do.
I think Sylvania pitches as cost. Yeah.
Okay. Well, getting those tokens on the field.
It's going to at least save her from getting killed, if anything.
Yeah. Well, we see Prime Monarch hit the graveyard though, but that's only 1 out of the 2 fodders that Team Innovation will need.
Well, he doesn't even need 2 because Domain would reduce anything by 1
Oh, very
tribute,
true. Very true. I forget Domain has that effect all the time.
I know. It's so stupid. Deck is so dumb. So we see Eidos come down. That'll give him an extra tribute summon.
Well, he did drop an Erebus off of the lore, though, so it's going to be quite hard for him to get around the 3,300, right?
Oh, he's got another Erebus.
Oh, wait. How big does it get after Domain?
It gets to 36, so he has no problem.
Oh, that's not fair. I was like, it gains 500. That would make sense.
No, it gains 800. Because, Monarchs really needed that boost in their attack value.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, they're Monarchs. They need to be able to crush everything. And there's the Pantheism. I kind of agree with what you say. Like, it was almost a blessing in disguise when Pantheism was at 3, because then when you played against a Monarch player, you kind of had a very good idea of what they had if they did search a Stormforth or something. Mm-hmm. As much as unfair as that card is, like, don't get me wrong. But there was, I guess, it was a double-edged sword to an extent, except it was more like a claymore on one side and a dagger on the other. So
yeah, no, I think it's a lot more like mild when it's at 1, as you're not going to be. I think the synergy that made it ridiculous was when you could activate it for the draw effect and then banish it and get the thing. But now if you just send it off of an Erebus, sure, you get some advantage back, but it's not quite as disgusting as when you would get the 2 draws out of your deck as well to get to other stuff too. So
well, that's why you're like forced to play the Squires now, just to recur the Pantheism. It's just so good if you're able to do that. Yeah. And then, I mean, on top of it now, that's why like Monarch decks have just switched to Allure of Darkness now, because it basically kind of fulfills the same role. And then when you throw Gofu in, the deck runs like 9 Darks, and if you count like Vanity's Fiends, then it's at like 12 Darks. So I mean, there's no shortage of fodder for the Allure. Oh god, he has the Ether too. That's good. Man. So Tenacity's going to search, probably going to grab Stormforth here, I imagine, just to set up the Stormforth Ether play on his opponent's turn. And yeah, Team Innovation's looking pretty solid right now.
Yep. So, RescueCat's not looking too spicy with those Sylvans anymore.
Unfortunately, yeah. So Erebus is going to knock over the Jisukiru, gaining the 800 off of Domain, making it 3,600. And RescueCat's going to need a little bit of a miracle here. She'll be locked out of the extra deck.
Perhaps a Miracle Fertilizer? That won't do anything, though. But
I was going to say...
Remember when people went nuts when they realized Miracle Fertilizer like stuck on the board when you made an XYZ?
Yeah. That was like... people
that was
like,
crazy.
Oh, it's so broken. Oh, man. I mean, hey, Continuous Monster Reborn. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's anything really that could save RescueCat at this point. Like, we already know
another
that
Kaiju Slumber.
Innovation has like another Monarch in his hand.
Oh, she has
there
the
it is.
Kaiju.
I don't think that does too much, but it's a monster.
The biggest thing that sucks for RescueCat right now is that she has Super Solar Nutrient. Oh my god.
Oh wait. That Kaiju is considered a special summon monster, right?
It is.
So Domain is letting her use the extra deck, right?
So the biggest problem is right now is that the tokens, the Dandelion tokens, can be tributed for tributes. So he can still Stormforth Aether here, and it doesn't matter.
Oh, but we don't know. Did he search Stormforth off Tenacity?
Yeah, we know that's Stormforth. That's like almost 100% certain that's Stormforth.
That's not really good. Oh, that sucks.
And there's the Stormforth. Exactly.
We were so close to seeing some juicy stuff. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I really like the Super Solar Nutrient. So cool, allowing her to special summon anything that's 3 levels above that token. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that's a really cool card. But I think Team Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh kind of fucked up the order on that Stormforth Ether, but we pretty much know what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
He had the Ether, then Stormforth, but it's still same result. We know what he was doing.
Yeah. You see a Sylvan player out of card, you win the game anyways.
This is... Rescue Cat needs like another slumber at this point, and that would require her to be playing more kaijus than 3, which I don't think she is. So Erebus is going to hit the board. Rescue Cat with that 1 token just staying there. Interesting thing about Dueling Book, I don't know if you knew this. Did you know you can change your type of token?
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, okay.
I use the Jam Breeder token because that's my jam.
I thought that's so cool because if you're playing a deck like Sylvan's, you can actually have the fluff token so people know what it is.
A token's a token, man. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just something cool that I didn't know you could do. You can change it in the deck editor. I think it's like, say you're playing like a Draco Sack, you could put like the Draco Sack tokens or something. Like, that's just like cool so you know what they are, I guess. I don't know.
What's the dumbest token you can play? Like, what's the... I'm trying to think of all the tokens in the game. Like, I think the Ojama tokens are pretty stupid. Like...
Yeah, the Ojama tokens are pretty silly. But... Yeah, I don't know. I would say this is over. I don't know about you.
No, I don't. Like, you see, Sylvan player, no cards. Like I said, it's pretty much just.
That's pretty much just how you win against them.
Yep.
If you can just wait out until they have no cards, you pretty much won.
Man, that was a pretty good. That was like a nice. It's just is a shame that Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh had the out for it because RescueCatDuelist drew her out. Like, it was like a 1 of out, and that was like kaijuing the thing to turn off domain, and then she could have went off, but. It's just unfortunate that that Stormforth did see the back row. And...
Stormforth is at 1, so...
But hey, I'll consider this a pretty good game because we didn't see Durandal, so...
I would agree, absolutely. And we see the GGs in the chat there. It's Rescue Cat conceding. Team Innovation moving on to the next round. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video.
Wait. We gotta point out, we see the statement, Monarch is my fun deck, and a pleasant response from RescueCatDuelist there.
See you in the next match, guys.